Hello, welcome to Animistics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching High Score Girl Episode 3. So, last episode, let's see if I can remember everything, because they did kind of do a few different stories. The first part, um, they were at school, basically cleaning the pool, because it's getting closer to, like, pool season. By that I mean summer. Um, and oh god, I cannot remember the name of this kid. Okay, give me a second. Spelled score wrong. Okay. Haruo was talking about like he called it a game PC or something like that, but basically it's from how he was describing it. I don't know if they were allowed to use the actual name, but the way he was describing it, it was like a Sega Genesis almost. It did not look like it, but had the add-ons, for like a Sega CD and all these other things, and then it had a handheld version, and but it was called like the Game PC or something like that. But kind of had the colors of a Famicom or Famicom. Uh, he was talking about that with a couple of his friends because he was talking about how it was going to be like, I guess, the future of gaming and all this and that, and oh god, name. Oh no, yeah. She was kind of scooting up closer because she wanted to listen in on the conversation and hear more about this gaming system. And by that time, his friends had basically they had walked off. They didn't want to hear it basically because they needed to continue cleaning the pool. Their teacher's kind of out there. Threatening to do that Kakashi move where he sticks like his thumb or fingers or something in like up your butt if you don't listen. And he notices her there, and he's like, oh, "Did you want to talk like hear about this gaming PC?" And she says yes. And before he can start talking, this other kid comes up and is saying, "Oh, what do you think? You can just talk to her, and you're like nowhere near her like status or whatever." And then he comes over and starts trying to ask her out, and she's like, "No, like no, I'm not talking to you." And then he like falls to the ground and is wondering why Haruo is able to talk to her and he's not. Um, but Haruo ends up getting sick and having to stay at home. Uh, and he wants to play his game, but he he couldn't get up to go and get the controller. And his mom comes to the door and lets Ono in. She had brought like the packets for homework for them to do. Basically, she wanted to come by so she could try out the system, and he noticed that she was looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, all right. If you want to try it out, here you go. Set it up." And he gives her the controller, and she starts playing, and she's not very good with a controller, so she's not doing as well as she normally does, but she's still doing pretty good. And then I think he was saying something like, when she was done playing, she'd have to leave because, I mean, he's sick. So, yeah. After his mom let her in, she's telling him, don't do anything lewd in here. And then she leaves, and then he notices that she's like peeking into the door, kind of hoping that he will try something. But then she leaves because he kind of rushes to the door and is like angry, and she walks off. Um, and then she comes back with pancakes, these really thick pancakes to give to Ono. And she's eating them, and he's like, "Just get out of the room." And I think she went to go and like to the store or something. Um, and when she comes back, he's arguing with her about something, like about one of the games, uh, and he ends up falling over and like on top of her a little bit, and then the mom walks in, and she starts putting him in this like wrestling move, but she's like happy. She's got like a smile on her face, and he's wondering, why are you why are you smiling? And Ono is just sitting there playing the game. And then when they're back at school, the pool is all filled up, and he's not in because he just got over a cold. He doesn't want to get sick again. But Ono is like splashing him with water, hoping that he'll get sick again so she can come by and play the game. Then the next part, they show that she's kind of having, I guess, some issues at home. Not like anything too serious, but basically she's skipping out on classes that she has at home with like this tutor who's teaching her like how to be a high class lady and all that, playing the piano and manners and all that kind of stuff. And she doesn't want to do it. She wants to go and play at the arcades. So that's what she does. She skips out, goes to the arcades, and plays games. But basically, the lady told her that if she skips out on her lessons during summer, or basically any more, then she's going to make sure that she does not get to leave the house at all, and will be stuck throughout summer break taking ketchup lessons. And they show Haruo at one of the... I think he's at this arcade talking to one of the guys behind the counter. Or, no, he's talking to this guy outside of an arcade. And he's telling him about this one place in like the next city over, or I think it was like a couple hours away actually. But he's telling him about it, how it's supposed to be an arcade that you only need like 10 yen to play for each game. But it's like a myth, kind of like an urban legend type of thing. And he's like, "Ooh, now I got to go find this place." And Ono was there, and he gets on his bike, asked his grandmother if he could borrow her bike, and she lets him. So he gets on it, and then she sits on the back. He didn't even know she was there, and he looks behind, and he's like, "Oh, Ono, did you want to come with me to find the arcade?" And since she doesn't talk, he's like, "All right, but I don't know how fast we're gonna get there with how heavy you are." And it gets hit. They end up finding the place and going down into it's like down under like some buildings in like a basement area. But they're down there, and they're playing some of the games. It's like a lot of older games, like the very first Street Fighter. Like the crane games were really old. Everything was like really old. But they've stayed there for a bit actually, and were playing all of the games. She was kind of scared. She doesn't like scary things, but once they got down there and started playing, she was all right. Then they leave. The guy that owned the place was pretty creepy looking. I just threw that in there just because I forgot to mention it. But they leave, go to the bike, and he notices that he doesn't have the key. He's like, "Okay, well, I left it. I think I left it in the arcade, so let me go back and get it." And they turn around, and the place is like sealed up. And he's like, "Well, what happened? We were just in there." And this guy coming by, he asks, "What's going on over here?" And the guy's like, "Oh, well, this place has been closed for like years." So, I mean, I don't know how you think you got in or something. So basically, they were in a haunted, like arcade. Creepy. So they end up having to walk back to their city. And he tells her, I hear there's a bunch of other arcades out there that are really good. We should, go to some of them. He sees her, like, butler or chauffeur or whatever driving around, and he's yelling for her because she's supposed to have been home, but she didn't go because she went with him. And he asks if she's having, like, some trouble at home because she didn't look like she wanted to go. And that's when he brings up the thing with the arcades. And since then, she started she started going to her lessons like she's supposed to. Because they show the teacher, and she's thinking to herself, what happened? She was like so against coming to these classes, and all of a sudden she's coming and listening and doing everything she's supposed to do. It's because she wants to be able to go with him to all these arcades around, the other cities. She's got, like, at school, she's got a bunch of people who, like, hang around her because she's smart, and I guess she's supposed to be, like, kind of pretty. But, she doesn't really have any, like, what I would call friends. But he has, like, the same hobbies as her, video games. So it has, like, they have, like, a kind of connection between it for that. So I think she kind of sees him as a friend. So she likes to hang out with him. So yeah, that's what happened in the last one. I don't know what's going to happen in this one. Let's just get into it and see. Alright, so the video is going to be located over here. And the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.